Hey, and welcome to episode 6 of The Brink of Sanity. I am Jay.
And I am Bry. Thanks for listening. Hard to believe we made it to number 6 already.
I feel that way every episode. I really didn't think we'd make it past 2.
Doesn't seem like it's been 6 weeks since we started this, but I guess it has.
Yeah, time's flying by.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we got a lot to talk about today.
Tons to talk about.
Holy shit, it's phenomenal how much we have to talk about.
I'd just like to start off by saying that I'm really, really pissy this week, and hopefully I'll let you do all the talking, or else this is going to turn into a roast of everybody I know, and I'm going to have less friends than I do now at the end of the show.
I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, all right. Well, thanks. I've just been really pissy all week, so the slightest thing can set me off. So hopefully your stories will be entertaining enough, and I don't have to start ranting about every single person I know that has ticked me off all week. And on that note, how is everybody doing out there? Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with us through 5 episodes. We had a rough start. First couple were a little slow, trying to figure out, get the hang of this podcast thing. And we had Alex a couple weeks ago for a couple weeks. He's not with us tonight. It's just me and Jay, just the two regulars. And Jay, why don't you tell them how to get a hold of us, because we have a new method to get a hold of us.
We do. We figured we'll add something every week until we're actually like a real podcast. Yeah, everyone's first couple episodes suck. So, and the rule of podcasting is to listen to 3 episodes before you make a judgment.
Oh, is that the rule?
Yeah, that's like the unwritten rule. I've heard in a bunch of different places. So
I've heard that some podcasts have like 60 episodes that suck. So most of them actually.
Yeah, the rule of most podcasts is all our episodes suck, but I'm pretty happy with the last couple.
Yeah.
The addition of Alex was pretty good.
Once Nahigian left the country, I think everything kind of settled down, and we all found our niche.
Yep. So if you want to contact us, you could email us at thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. And special announcement, we have voicemail now.
Oh, so, voicemail.
Yeah, you could leave us a message. I don't care what it says. Just, let us know it's working. The phone number is actually, wait, we already got a message.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, I'm going to play it.
Can we play it on the air?
Yeah, oops. Here it is.
Just call 641-715-3900, and the extension is 95391.
So that's the number and the extension. I recorded that myself.
That's not a message. That's the outgoing greeting.
No, that's not the outgoing.
That was
greeting.
You.
Well, yeah, but that was the voicemail I left. That wasn't the actual greeting when you call up.
Oh, all right. Then.
Why would the greeting give the number? You already know the number if you're recording a message.
Well, you might be retarded and dial the wrong number. So anyways, tell everybody the number again.
The number is 641-715-3900. And the extension is 95391 pound.
And if you have a short attention span and you couldn't get all that down, you could go to our blog site, which is
thebrinkofsanity.libsyn.com. Libsyn is Libsyn.
Where there is a posting about that number, so you could actually see it, write it down, call it, leave us a message. And if we have some good messages, we'll play them on the air. If we have some bad ones, we'll probably play them on the air. If you don't want to be on the air, just say in your message, "I don't want to be on the air." We probably won't listen to it, but to listen to you, and we'll put it on the air. And Jay and I have just come up with a new rule. For those of you that don't know, if this show sounds like it's 2 people talking all the time, just having regular conversations, it's because this podcast, this hour and whatever, is the only time during the week that Jay and I actually talk. So we get a lot of just, regular shit out of the way.
Yeah, we have no contact outside of the podcast world.
We have like 2 emails to say what time we're going on, and that's it. So we take care of a lot of just regular conversation stuff on this air. And I lost my train of thought. Oh, we did decide, though, in the 2 minutes we talked before we had the British cunt say we're recording, I've gotten some emails and talk to some people who have listened to the show with some ideas of what we should do and so forth. But we are not going to listen to any of those ideas unless you email us or leave us a voicemail on the podcast voicemail. Because Jay doesn't believe that I actually have friends who actually listen. He thinks I'm just making all this shit up. So we need proof that people are listening, just so that we know that this whole thing is worth it.
Right. I mean, I was friends with you for like, we hung out 7 days a week for like 6 straight years, and I didn't see anybody else. So now all of a sudden...
He never saw me talk to another person.
Yeah, now you moved to a different state, and you got all these friends that all love the show. I want to see some proof.
All right. So the burden is going to be on you, the listener, to email us or call us and leave us a voicemail and tell us what you like, what you want to see, what you don't want to see, or hear, I should say. And if you want to be a guest any week, we record on Wednesday nights. Leave us a voicemail or email how to get in touch with you, and we can tell you how to get in touch with us live during the recording.
Correct. And, it takes about 3 seconds, but it would mean a lot if you voted on Podcast Alley.
Yes. We are trying to crack the top. I think we're 18th now, right? Is that right?
Yeah, in the comedy section.
Comedy. So we want to get to like the top 15 at least. Top 10 would be, perfect. We have a long way to go in March, so every vote counts.
And it resets every month. So once you vote, you're not done. Vote the first of every month. And because, the more votes we get, the downloads we get.
The less cranky we get, and the better show we'll have.
Right. Plus, if we get enough listeners, we'll come out with a website and forums and, be more interactive. Maybe set up a webcam, have a live show. Once it's worth it.
All that stuff.
So, all right, we got all that crap out of the way.
We got all the pleading and the rule making out of the way. Now we can get on to business.
I feel like we have a new rule every week, too.
Well, I mean, we are expanding. We're getting our feet off the ground here, so we have to sort of, make adjustments and tell all the listeners about it.
That's what happens when you get pretty big like we are.
Oh, we're huge.
The show is giant already.
I've got TMZ out in my parking lot. They're photographing me.
I've been wearing a wig and sunglasses all week. This is out of control. Especially since they don't know what we look like.
That's right. That's true.
One picture up there, we're freaking blue.
And I have a mask on.
Right. All right. So, anyway, we don't, like we said, we don't talk during the week, so I don't know what the hell you've been up to. But I went to a show on Friday. Where's a Bruta? That was the name of the show. What kind of show? I still couldn't even tell you. I went to it. I have no idea what happened.
Was it like Broadway or like a concert or like a movie or?
I guess. You ever hear of Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like that, but
it's a performance arts thing.
Yeah, but even more fucked up. Like if somebody went there on psychedelics, they would literally go insane. Like
speaking of psychedelics, I could really use some right about now. If anyone out there who listens knows how to get a hold of any, and you're not with the government, email us. Anyways, go on.
I don't know if I want to do a show with you while you're tripping out.
Oh, I don't mean I wouldn't do it on the air. I'd do it on my own personal time, like at work or something.
Gotcha. So I don't even know how to explain this show. It starts. First of all, you're standing in the middle of this big circle the entire show. Mainly like staring up at the ceiling, and you get wet, and people tell you to move around this big circle. So it starts out, and this guy is like running on this big treadmill, and he starts like, I don't know where these walls come from. He starts running through walls, and like the pieces are flying everywhere. Then it starts raining on him and part of the audience, and then he ends up falling down, and like the lights go out, and you can't see shit. And then like this big clear plastic thing that's the entire size of the ceiling basically starts coming down, and these girls in nothing but their underwear, like running around, and then it fills up a little bit with water, and they start like splashing around in the water for like 15 minutes in just like a bra and panties, and there's like 4 of them.
Sounds
and
like
then
a
like
scene out of American Pie or something.
yeah, it was crazy. And then the ceiling lowers so low that you can actually touch it, and like they're doing like these spread eagles and stuff, and it was. I'm sitting there with my parents, like trying not. This is vagina like 6 inches from my face, and I'm like trying not to stare at it. With my mom's like standing next to me.
I
It
wouldn't go
was
to anything I had to stand all night for.
it was only like an hour show, so
Yep.
it wasn't too bad. But I don't know. Then like the girls go away, and these guys start doing this crazy dance and like breaking through more shit, and then they run into the audience, and they got these squares, and they like I guess they look like styrofoam squares, like 3 feet by 3 feet. And the guy runs up to me and he smashes one over my head, and then like confetti and paper shoot out, and like I got like a fistful of confetti going down my shirt, and then it starts raining again, and then techno music comes on, and everyone starts dancing, and then the show ends. So I don't know what the fuck happened, but that's pretty much the best I could describe that show.
So would you recommend it to other people or not recommend it, or you're not sure?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would recommend it. If you like things that have like a storyline and that you can follow, you're not gonna like it.
I see.
But they did some really cool visual things. There was one part where they had these two girls chasing each other, but they were running like sideways around the walls. That was pretty cool. I have no idea what any of it meant or what the hell was going on half the time, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did you end up there?
My dad likes to pick out like weird things to take the family to, and he tries to top himself every year.
Yeah.
So he took us to Cirque du Soleil,
Yeah.
and I guess he figured he had to get weirder than that, and he won.
So was this in the city, or was this like out in Long Island, like some local like thing, or?
Yeah, no, it was in the city. It was in Union Square.
Huh.
Apparently, they do 2 shows a night, like 7 days a week.
Yep.
So I guess it's semi-popular. Fuerza Bruta. It's South American, that name, and I used to date a Brazilian girl, so I gave her a call and I asked her what the hell that meant. And she said brute force.
Brute force.
Oh yeah, and
interesting.
everyone in the show was angry and screaming the whole time. So that added to the amusement factor.
Oh yeah, definitely. I could see that.
So I don't know. It took me like an hour to like calm down and like collect my thoughts after that show. That was so messed up.
You still don't sound right after that.
No. Well, I got a lot going on.
One of those things where it took a little piece of you and you'll never get it back.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
So that was my weekend adventure. And then it was, back to work.
Any any elevators chasing you at work this week or anything like that?
I had an elevator event-free week.
Good.
So far.
Good.
Yeah, it beats last week's debacle.
Yeah, definitely.
But I was at work yesterday. I think I've mentioned that I don't really do much there. But
yeah, that's come up, yeah.
I was sitting at my desk, and I'm like, all right, I don't feel like doing anything until after lunch. But after lunch, my boss went on vacation. He said when he came back, he wants this project done.
Mm-hmm.
And he was getting back today. So yesterday I was like, well, I guess I should probably start it. He's coming back tomorrow. So I get back after lunch, and I'm kind of like spacing out. And at 4 o'clock, my head snaps up. And I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot to work today. And I start like laughing to myself. So I have to like go to the bathroom because now I look crazy. My head's snapping up, and I'm like giggling to myself. And I figured, it's already 4 o'clock. It's too late now. Might as well try again tomorrow. So I said, fuck it.
So tomorrow meaning today, right?
Right.
So did you do it today or no?
No. My boss came back, and I'm like, it looks like I'm headbanging because I keep nodding off at my desk.
Is your boss Mr. Lumberg?
He Well, he did move my desk again today.
Yeah.
That's the 12th desk I've had since I started there. And I did get the red stapler from the movie Office Space.
Cool.
So every time they move me, I clutch my stapler, and he laughs. And he thinks, I think that's why he moves me. He just wants to see what I'm going to
do. Till the day you come in and stab him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting laid off in 3 weeks, so that moment may come sooner than later.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, times are tough.
2.25 years, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
Kick me to the curb.
Times are tough. It's an election year, you know.
I know, I just don't know who they're going to have come in and read comics at their desk now.
Well, big shoes to fill, but I'm sure they could find somebody younger and cheaper.
True. I did quit and then come back for a raise, so... I was like, I want to come back, and they're like, all right. And I'm like, but for more money. And they actually agreed.
Well, the joke's on them then.
Yeah. So, that was my work week. Oh no, that wasn't at work. I don't know if you have this at your work, but at my work, I have somebody who apparently hasn't learned how to go to the bathroom like a normal human being yet.
I got a bathroom story, too, when you're done. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I got a bathroom story. But you go first.
I mean, what is wrong with these people? I mean, grown adults, can't handle going to the bathroom. Isn't that, the first thing you learn how to do when you're...
Well, what do you mean they can't handle it? They shit their pants?
Not shit their pants, but, start going to the bathroom and just, pee everywhere. I mean... just cover the seats in pee on the floor, just not have any idea that you're supposed to lift the seat and go in the bowl.
Yeah.
Or if you can't even handle that, sit down. I'm talking buckets of pee on the seat. This seat looked like a friggin' slip and slide when I went in there. And then afterwards, I said, all right, I'll hold it for an hour or two. Maybe somebody will come in and Lysol the place and disinfect it or whatever. I come back in, there's toilet paper everywhere. It looked like somebody threw a kitten in there and it just went ape shit on the toilet paper, ripping it out. There was 2 yards of it. Half of it was outside of the stall. There was just paper by the front door, by the sink, in the stall.
Is there an autistic kid in your building or something? Did he just have a fit?
Grown adults.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, grown human beings just can't handle peeing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do. Somebody put a sign up explaining how to pee.
Yeah.
And apparently that doesn't work either.
Hmm. It's like that Beavis and Butthead episode where they forgot how to urinate.
Yeah. Do you have that at your work, or is that just my crazy place?
Yeah, not really. There's a stall in the men's room at my work that's been out of order since the first time I started working there, which was in 2004, and it's still not fixed. People still go in there every now and then. I never understood why people always spit their gum into urinals. That one always confused me. I always go in and take a piss, and there's a piece of gum in there, and then there's snots on the, not even in the urinal, on the wall where I'm looking straight ahead. That one always confused me too. Now let me ask you this. Now this is something that I wanted to save this till we had a couple of more people on the show, so I could get a round table discussion going about this. Mm-hmm. This is something that's happened. It hasn't happened to me recently, but I thought about it the other day. And it's happened to me enough that I've thought about it and acknowledged it, and now I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to pose a situation. I want you to tell me if this ever happens to you, because this happened to me at least a dozen times. Okay.
All right.
Have you ever gone into a bathroom, at work, or a public restroom, a restaurant, a bar, a store, whatever? All right, this one's going to be a little graphic for all you weak-stomach people that are going to listen to this one. You might want to fast forward for about 30 seconds if you can't handle it. You ever walk into a public bathroom, and somebody's in there taking a nasty shit, and you walk in and it just smells, and you're just going to piss. So you go over and you're doing your piss, and while you're pissing, the guy who's taking a shit gets up. He finishes. Goes and washes his hands, if he even washes his hands, and then leaves. and then you finish your piss, and then you go over and you're washing your hands, and then somebody else comes in and they make that oh face like, whoa, what died in here? Then they look at you like you're the one that took the shit.
Right.
Has that ever
Right.
happened to you? That's happened to me more times than it should ever happen to a person. I don't know why, but it does.
If I'm in there and I'm taking a smelly shit, and I know somebody's taking a piss, like I wait in there until they're done and they leave. I don't even want people seeing that I'm there.
Right, well, I try not to ever shit on a public toilet, but like I walk in and somebody comes out with no shame, they don't care, they leave, and I'm washing my hands, and somebody walks in and they look at me and it still stinks, and they're like, nice job. I'm like, no, I didn't do it, I'm just taking a piss, I swear.
Yeah, there's no easy way out of that too. You don't want to just look at the guy and be like, I didn't poop.
And they look at me like, they either give you that like, ugh look, or that nice work look, and it's like, no, I only went number one in the urinal. Look, it's still flushing, but they don't care. Oh, they smell something, they see me, and then bam, I'm guilty.
Do you have any odd public restroom habits? Like I already said, I can't. I won't come out like if somebody else is in there, and I also don't like going if there's somebody else in there already. Like I don't like having somebody next to me. So I'll come back. And if somebody dropped a bomb, I'll leave also. I don't want to like even if I just have to pee, if it stinks in there, like I'll wait.
I don't have any odd bathroom behavior. And I mean, well, in the rare instance that I have to go number two, like at work or something, I'll go downstairs to the first floor. I won't use my floor. I'll trick everybody.
Is that one cleaner?
No, it's just, there's only like 2 offices on my floor, so I don't want to get nabbed. I don't want someone to see my shoes and then, hey, there's Brian, took a nasty dump in there. Check his hands, make sure he washed. I guess my only other odd behavior would be, not to touch the door handles get the huge thing of paper towels and grab the door handle.
Oh, yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that abnormal, I don't think.
No. I mean, you take it to the extreme sometimes, but the bathroom door thing is fine.
Yeah.
No, I used to, for people who don't know, which is everyone, I used to take public transportation with this kid and freak the fuck out if he had to touch a handrail or anything on the bus or subway.
Those things are just slimy, though.
And then you would walk out of the subway and you would have your hands in front of you like you had baby blood on them, and like you look like you were traumatized, and you would have to like speed walk to the nearest bathroom and like wash your hands.
That's
really
true. I don't deny any of that. Those are all true accusations.
All true stories on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
I was asking about weird bathroom behavior because I was going poopers today, and some guy came in next to me, and already I'm like, oh no, it was the other way. I couldn't wait, so I had to go in even though somebody else was in there. And I'm like already pissed because I just hate doing that. And this guy, like, he kept flushing while he was going. He must have flushed like 3 or 4 times. I guess that's the courtesy flush?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Well, the courtesy flush is when somebody walks in. As soon as somebody walks in, you flush.
I'm totally against that.
What are you, one of those green people that wants to save water?
No, fuck the water. I'm paranoid about stuff splashing back up on my ass. I'm not giving anybody a courtesy flush if it means stuff's going to splash back up. I mean, you never know.
True.
That stuff comes down in force, you know.
Yeah.
You don't know what kind of stuff is splashing back up.
Yep.
And maybe if they had one of those like handy wipes big enough to like clean my entire ass after that. But
there you go.
I'm not going to put myself through that just because somebody else doesn't want to smell something.
Right.
So I'm not a fan of the courtesy flush. And I'll totally understand if somebody else doesn't do it.
I guess some people would rather get their ass wet than have to worry about the dank smell of their shit.
Yeah, well, then what if you got like a wet shit ass the rest of the day?
Me personally, I'd rather just torture everybody because I really don't give a fuck about other people's feelings.
You're a little sadistic, but...
I mean, I just don't care. Like, hey, I gotta smell it. What's the difference? It's a bathroom. Right. It's not like I'm out in my fucking kitchen taking a shit and everybody has to smell it.
You know, if you smell it already, it's already too late.
Yeah.
It's not like flushing is going to suck the smell back in anyway.
Exactly. And it's not like they're coming to sit on that toilet covered with shit.
You have to take your shirt off in public too?
What?
Well, I know, like, when I was roommates with you, you couldn't take a shit without
Oh,
taking...
yeah, I gotta take... Well, in public, well, no, I'll just... No, but if I'm home, yeah, the shirt's off.
You're tempted at work, though, aren't you?
No, I've only shit at work like twice in my life.
How do you do that?
Well, I shit like every 3 days, so, it's...
I'm jealous. I hate shit.
No, it's not. I'd probably be 30 pounds lighter if I shit every day, but,
I hate shitting. I get pissed off every time I have to go.
Oh, I hate shitting, too. It's the worst.
Puts
The only
me in
thing worse than shitting is barfing.
Yep, I agree. But, I mean, I barf like every 2 years.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome if I only shit every 2 years. I'd be so happy. I feel like I just need a shower afterwards. I hate it.
Yeah, I know. It's rough. So, how many listeners have we lost in the last 5 minutes?
Why, you don't like 20 minutes of poo talk? Come on.
I warned him. I said it was going to get a little graphic, but it was a little longer than I expected.
You said 30 seconds, not 15 minutes.
I got a story that can lighten the mood a little bit about my weekend.
All right.
I
Shoot.
feel safe in telling this story because hopefully the two people that are involved will not be listening anytime soon. And if they are, whatever, I don't really care.
I burned my bridges last week.
No, I think I burned your bridges last week, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, I was telling an anonymous story. You know, like, oh, it sounds like Leon. I'm like, well, it was, but quiet.
I thought Leon was worse than that person, but apparently it's the same person. So anyways, so Saturday night I was out on a date with my special lady friend.
I don't believe it already.
And no, this is a true story. It's a good story. And it was kind of a last-minute thing. And she was working, so I met up with her when she got out of work at like 10. And we ended up going to a bar to have a couple drinks and, whatever. And I guess her coworkers / friends were mad at her because she usually goes out with them. So we're hanging out at this bar, and her friends are texting her all night, like constantly, like every 2 minutes, like texting her. And I didn't really care, but it was sort of just like, I don't know, she was just texting all night.
Was she texting back?
Yeah, they would text her, and then, she wouldn't reply right away. She'd wait, a couple minutes, and then text back or whatever. And I didn't really care. It was sort of funny, but then it kind of got old. So I picked up my phone, and I was pretending to play with it while she was texting, and I texted her, and I said, "Stop texting and kiss me already." Mm-hmm. So I put my phone down. Yeah, I thought so, So I put my phone down, and she's still texting, and we're talking and listening to the band and, doing and drinking, whatever. And I was like, how come she's not acknowledging my text, That's kind of weird.
Oh,
so
please don't send it to the wrong person, please.
So she gets up to go to the bathroom, and I just literally just got a brand new phone on Friday, and I don't know the ring. It's real quiet, and the vibrate is really, really soft. So, even in my pocket, I can't feel it. So she gets up. Yeah. She gets up to go to the bathroom. So I was like, all right, well, maybe she wrote back, and she just didn't want to say anything. So I open up my phone, no message, and now it's like 1:30 in the morning when when this is happening. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So I was like, all right, well, let's check whatever. So I go to sent messages.
I'm gonna love the story.
So I go to the sent messages, and wouldn't you know it, I didn't send it to her. I sent it to somebody else.
Yes.
Now I sent it to somebody else who had just yelled at me for texting her too much because she went over her limit, which makes that part funny. And it's also she was also in bed because I talked to her earlier in the night, and she was like, I have to get up early because I have to work on Sunday. So I sent it to her. She obviously she was obviously in bed, so she didn't write back, and it was just there was no good answer. I couldn't text her back and be like, sorry. It was also a person that I've sort of, talked to in that kind of way. But there was no way I could be like, oh, sorry, I sent that to the wrong person, So there was
now it's somebody you'll never talk to ever.
So it was sort of like this, there's no, now I'm dreading getting up in the morning because I know what's coming, you know? So
Is this a coworker?
no, it's not a coworker or anything. It's just another special lady friend. Uh, and so I got home really late Sunday night, really like, and I got like 3 hours of sleep, and I wake up. So I go on my computer, and there's the IM. Oh, it must have been the alcohol last night, huh? And I was just like, oh, fuck. And I was like,
So
oh, what?
you never resent the message to the original girl?
No, she came out of the bathroom, and I just said, I said to her, she came back from the bathroom. I said, now I know why you didn't respond to the text I sent you. And she said, what? Why? And I said, because I sent it to the wrong person. She goes, oh, that's funny. She goes, oh, just tell him you sent it to the wrong person. Well, I can't exactly do that. You know? So,
Did you tell her what it said?
yeah, she thought it was funny. She's like, oh, just tell her you're out with me. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do that. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. You know?
Did it work?
No, obviously I wasn't going to tell her that. She didn't care, whatever. Even if she listens, I don't think she'll care. Well, she probably will, but whatever.
No. The girl you originally meant to send it to. Did it work once you told her?
Oh, yeah, that was, that worked out fine. So I get up in the morning, and the other girl IMs me, and she's like, oh, it must have been the alcohol talking. And I should have just been like, yeah, it was the alcohol talking. So it's stupid me. I was like, oh, yeah, it was a joke. Sorry. She goes, oh, I don't get the joke. And I was like, oh, you had to be there. It was I was out, and I thought it was funny, and I text you. She's like, well, it was a joke. And I'm like, you know what? I just woke up. I'm going to have breakfast. I'll talk to you later. So I blew her off for like a day and a half, and she's like, so what's the joke? So I had to make up some lame story that she didn't really buy, and it's just like, oh. I mean, this is why I don't sleep at night, because of things like this, And it's funny looking back on it. At the time, I was like, kind of sucks.
And she gave you the out, too. You didn't take it.
What out?
The alcohol.
Oh, yeah. I told her she didn't, I don't know. It was just it was a hard one to explain. I just said, like, my friend used that line on some girl that he was with that night, and I thought it was funny, so I did it to you, but I didn't realize it was 2 a.m, She was like, oh yeah, no, I don't get that. That's not really funny.
Yeah.
Whatever. It wasn't meant to be funny. It was, whatever.
I was trying to score.
Exactly. She's like, so you didn't really feel like that? And I was like,
Gotta go.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Stop texting and whatever. So that was about the highlight of my weekend, I think. The only funny thing that happened to me over the weekend.
Well, it was pretty friggin' hilarious. So.
It is pretty funny.
I was hoping if you went through that story and you didn't send it to the wrong person, I would have hated that story.
And the only reason I sent it to her is like we texted a ton, and then she yelled at me, told me not to text her anymore because she went over her limit. So I was like, fine, I won't text you. And while I was on my way out, she texted me and was like, thinking of you or whatever. And so I just replied to the first one that was back in my list because I wasn't paying attention, when I wrote that. So it's really her fault, the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't like texting anyway.
I love texting. I hate talking. I hate it.
Yeah, I know. I think in the last 4 years you've answered your phone once when I've called.
Oh, I hate my phone. I never keep my phone near me. I come home and I just put it down, and then I'm like somewhere else when the phone rings. And by the time I get, I hear it, and then by the time I get there, it's already, on the voicemail. And I'm just like, hell with it.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I just hate talking to people because everybody pisses me off, so I just don't talk to anyone.
You answer your phone so seldom. I remember the one time you actually did answer because I was so taken aback.
One of my friends actually stopped calling me. He's like, I'll just text you from now on. Like, he would call me, and then, before he would even leave a voicemail, I'd text him back. I'd be like, what do you want? So he was like, I don't even call you anymore. I just text you.
Fucking texting. I got $60 added to my phone bill for texting in the last 2 months.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with it. It's a little extreme. But
I mean, I like texting if it's like meet me here at 8. Something simple.
Yeah.
But people abuse it, and that's when it starts pissing me off.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, no joke. This one girl wrote, like, what have you been up to lately? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to respond to that in a text message? Sit there punching things into my phone for the next, like, 20 minutes. You know, like, I refuse to answer open-ended texts like that.
If you ever want to piss me off, not you, but you, the listener, you who know me, anybody listening to this, if you ever want to really piss me off and have me, like, throw something at the wall, if we're having, like, an IM or an email or a text, anything where we're not actually speaking to each other kind of conversation, if you respond with just K, that I usually break something when someone does that to me. We're having a conversation. It's like, hey, I'll come over at 8K. It drives me up the fucking wall. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Out of all the things that piss you off, that's what drives you up the wall.
Well, that's one of them. That just annoys the hell out of me when I'm talking to people. Because then I have to think of a new topic. Because that's like the end of that. At the end of that thing new has to come up. I just went max headroom, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, my screensaver kicked in.
No, then you just then fuck them. Conversation's
I
over.
usually delete the IM screen after that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, you're not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. So fuck you.
Yeah, no, that's the only rational thing.
Fuck
to do.
off. You know what else pisses me off? Here we go. I'm a little annoyed with some people that I know. I hate. I guess it's mostly girls, but I guess guys too. But I don't have a lot of guy friends anyway that I don't even like anymore. So whatever. But I hate girls who are your friends who aren't your friends when they're dating somebody, and then as soon as they're not dating somebody, they're like, "Hey, what have you been up to? When are we hanging out?" It's like, "Fuck you." I know this one girl. I know this one girl that's just like so blatantly like obvious about that, and I called her on it. She's like, "Oh, I'll get better on it," and she didn't. We hung out like on a Friday, and then like by like Tuesday, she was dating a guy. I haven't heard from her since. So I was like, "Oh, all right, I'll hear from you. Next time you're single and you're desperate."
Yeah, that's pretty much most humans. I don't know how many friends I've lost because of that.
Oh, I fucking hate that. It's just so like I was talking to this one girl and I was like, "Hey, I got my own place. You got to come check it out." She's like, "Oh, well," I was like, "Come on, I got a bar. We'll have a couple of Jaeger shots, whatever." So, "Oh, I'm dating a guy now." I'm like, "So?" Well, he can't come, but I mean, you could still come over. We could have a drink. I mean, I'm not gonna rape you or anything. But maybe.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's like we can hang out when you're single. So what changed?
So then I deleted her from MySpace, and then she emails me. She's like, "Why'd you delete me from MySpace?" I was like, "Well, 'cause fuck you. You know my phone number. I mean, what do I need you?" These people on MySpace are just fucking crazy. They're like, "Oh, if I have your phone number, I don't need you on MySpace unless you're hot and I want to show you off." But I mean,
Oh, it's way too much. People like actually email me and say, "Why aren't I in your top 8?" And I was like, "Do you really give a shit if you're in my really? Is this what you stay up at night thinking about? You really want to be in my top 8?"
That's why my top 8 on my MySpace is all comedians. So it's like I don't have to deal with people like, "Ooh, you're not in my." And I'm like, "Fuck you, no."
Right. Sorry, I'm not accepting real people in the top 8.
Mine are all strangers. The rest of you can all fuck off. And I hate private profiles, too, while I'm ranting on MySpace. It's like, "Hi, I'm on a networking site so I can meet people, but you can't learn anything about me because I'm private, because I'm so fucking cool and paranoid."
Oh, that is such horseshit.
It's like, hey, like I get friend requests from people and it's like private. Like, well, fuck you then. So what I'll do is I'll add them, look at their pictures, and then delete them.
Nice.
It's like, fuck you. I mean, fucking get over yourself. You're some fucking dork who's on a dumb site that people take way too seriously, and you have your stupid drunken pictures where every girl is making the same stupid kissy face. I don't understand why when girls get drunk they have to make the kissy face for the camera. It's fucking stupid. You look retarded.
When girls get fat, they have to do the take the camera from high up, angling down so we can't see your double chin.
It's like if you're a girl, you either have one of two pictures. You either have the camera like 8 feet in the air and you're looking up with a drink in your hand, or you're making a stupid kissy face.
Yep.
Guess what? You know what? When I kiss you, my eyes are closed, so I don't really care what you look like when you're kissing me. You look like a fucking idiot.
Oh, you look that awful when you make a kissy face?
Yeah.
deleted.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it just pisses me off. It's like, oh yeah, oh, I'm private. No, 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 I'm cool, but I'm not that cool for everybody to see me.
Yeah, people kept complaining about that top 8 shit, so I just made a top 12, and I'm like, fine, now you're all up there. All the people who are insane enough to complain about it are all on my front page now.
Not me. I want to just blend in. I don't want to be on the top 8 of anybody's.
I just don't give a shit. Like, I check that site really, like, when I get a message saying I have mail. Like, other than that, I don't give a shit. It's another email address as far as I'm concerned.
I used to just have it the way it was randomly set up, so it was like whatever. The top 8 were like the 8 people who've been on the longest or whatever it was. And then I started rearranging it, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to put anybody here because I don't want any competition, so I'm just going to put all the famous people that I don't know on the top 8. And the rest of you can all go to hell.
There was a time when you had the 8 sluttiest girls you could find on the top.
Yeah, and then I deleted all of them because I realized that they were all the sluttiest girls I knew. I didn't know any of them. That was the problem. I was chasing them, and then I deleted them, and they're all fucking private, so I couldn't even look at their whorish pictures.
That and you look like a complete fucking pervert with that on your...
Well, I am a pervert. I'm not going to fucking deny it.
No, but you don't have to show it off.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows it. Just look at me. I mean, come on.
I don't know. People are just freaking messed up when it comes to that shit. I'm done with it. I mean, MySpace is awesome, and we will have a Brink of Sanity MySpace page next week.
Good, I could use another friend on my list.
Yeah, exactly. Going through deleting everyone who was too cool to talk to me after they started dating someone.
Yeah.
My friends list like went in half when I started doing that.
Yeah, but getting back to that original point, that just annoys the shit out of me because it's just so like. It's just so disingenuous. It's like, oh yeah, we could be friends, but only when I'm, a loser and can't find anybody. As soon as I meet another loser who actually will like me and fuck me, yeah, no, I can't hang out with you anymore. Your opinions are now invalid.
I think it's shitty when a girl does it because, I mean, you could still hang out with somebody like a normal human being, but I think it's even stupider when a guy does it because there's really, like, no reason you can't go out and, like, drink a beer with a dude, like, when they're dating somebody.
Yeah.
Like, with a girl, like, maybe they have a jealous boyfriend or something, but, I mean, maybe that's not an excuse to, I can see them not hanging out as much, but not even talking is, there's no excuse for that. But when guys, like, won't even hang out, I don't even get that.
Because then it just shows that they're pussy whipped because they're dating some insecure girl that's like, you can't go out with the guys because you guys are going to go to the strip club and look at naked women and get vagina in your face.
Right,
yeah,
that's all guys.
So what's? Yeah. I mean, even if we do that, what's the problem? I'm not fucking anybody in there. Just a couple of bucks I'm throwing down the drain. We're just going to go have a beer and ogle some girls and talk about sports and talk about how much I hate my fucking girlfriend. I mean, what's the problem?
I mean, if it's me, we're just going to play Rock Band and, like, drink rum. I mean, there's really nothing to be worried about as far as that goes anyway.
Well, I mean, if I hung out with you, you'd get laid and I'd sleep on the couch. I mean, what's the problem?
Yeah, no, it's a win-win.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But fortunately, I'm a happy bachelor. I don't have to worry about any of that.
I'm, like, on MySpace right now, like, deleting all my friends who did that. Fuck them. Then I'll get an email. Well, I haven't talked to you in a year and a half, but you deleted me, so now it's an issue.
Yeah.
Now I want to be friends.
Yep.
Well, no. Too bad. We have a mutual friend who did that. Mutual friend who did that.
We do?
Yeah.
Guy or girl?
Girl.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh, she's not going to listen. We could say her name. In Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, she's getting deleted right now.
Yeah, she's just like... It's too bad, too, because I actually liked talking to her. She was actually sort of, not interesting, but she wasn't, like, as annoying as other people were.
She was an instant messenger personality.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is you talk on IM, There's joke. There's back and forth. The conversation flows. Get her on the phone. Complete mime.
Yeah.
Doesn't say a word.
Yeah. And her boyfriend's a fucking nerd, which, is expected, but...
Well, I mean, I'm thinking she was a nerd. Like, if you can only handle instant message conversations and you can't handle, like, live conversations, that says something about you also. I'll just burn my bridges with one person per episode.
Might as well. It beats me doing it. I can't roast any of my friends because they're all listening, so,
All your fake friends that I've never met.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we haven't hung out 4 years, so, you could have gotten friends in that time, I guess.
We hung out a couple of times.
Like, literally. A couple. I don't even remember one of those times when we blacked out at the Beastie Boys
I don't remember
concert.
it either.
I had the only reason I remember that we actually went to the concert is because I have the ticket stub. That's my only proof of that night. I don't remember.
I remember, like we just pounded drinks at your apartment for, 2 hours, and then we were on our way to the show. We each had a liter bottle of, Coke full of rum. Or no, we had a 2-liter, and we were, splitting it back and forth like a bunch of homies. And we got to, Madison Square Garden, and we were, going to go in, and you got a call from Leon, and he was like, I'm at this bar across the street. And you're like, come on, we got to go see Leon. And I'm like, no, we have to go to the show. And you're like, no, we'll go to Leon's. And we went there and had a beer. He was with some girl. And we were in there forever, it seemed like. And then we finally got into the show, and then we were walking around looking for my group of friends that was at the show. And I just remember, the Yankees were playing the Twins in the playoffs. And there was, 100 people standing outside one of the, in the concourse. And they were watching the game on the TV. And I just remember barreling through all of them, just pushing people out of my way. And I was just saying, listen, assholes, you can watch the game at home. Get out of my fucking way. And I just barreled through people. And I don't know how I didn't get killed for doing that. And then we ended up at the seats. And I remember I had a Charlie Brown shirt on, and my friend had his Elvis sunglasses on. And I just remember walking around asking people if they've seen Elvis. And I was saying, if you see Elvis, tell him Charlie Brown's looking for him. And we were just walking, and then we blacked out. And then, I don't remember. And then I remember there was a white J and an Indian J, and there was we ended up at your place with some girls, and who knows what else happened after that.
Same. I always out 30 minutes before you do. So.
And I remember waking up, and I was like, I don't remember the show.
Yeah, no recollection of it at all. I'm glad they came out with that movie, so we can at least watch it.
I know, I gotta buy that so I can see what that's all about.
I could send it to you.
Yeah, I'll have to get it one of these days. I saw some of it, actually, on TV. Didn't seem familiar at all, so...
No, I just remember the last part where they came out doing the instrumental set. But, yeah. Alright, I deleted 10 people while you were telling the story. Yep. They're all
so what else is going on? Oh, yeah. We're recording this the day after Brett Favre retired, and I am so... Brett Favre is probably the most overrated football player ever.
Could be.
And I'm just so fucking sick of hearing about him. He's so overrated. He just is. I'm tired of it.
Well, he does have the most interceptions of all time, right?
He's also a drug addict. Anyone cares. That, so.
What kind of drug?
He was on he had a painkiller addiction for 2 years. Back in the 90s, yeah.
Really?
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I never... I mean, he had 2 good seasons.
He went to one Super Bowl and he beat the Patriots, but anybody could have beat the Patriots that year. Then he lost to Denver and he hasn't been back. Now, granted, they never had a good team around him. He always had shitty players to play with, but he's just sick of hearing about his bullshit. Now would be a good time to give the email address and phone number again, I think.
It is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. And the phone number is 641-715-3900. And the extension is 95391 pound.
So call us, email us, give us ideas for the show, give us segments for the show. Tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. Tell us that you're listening. Tell us you want to be on the air, any of that stuff.
I liked nothing and I hated anything.
Now, you can't call, you're part of the show.
Could you guys replace all the words you said with different words?
Can you replace yourselves with two interesting people?
All right, now that we got that out of the way, you can't write in with those sentences. So that would be hilarious.
Yep, absolutely hilarious. Funnier than our show, actually, is how funny that would be.
Since we're on the whole MySpace thing, do you do Facebook?
No, I've never done Facebook.
Neither have I. I mean, they're all the same, like what was it, Friendster?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and MySpace
there was Lava, Tap Cherry or something
Lava.
like that, or Cherry something. It's gone now. It's got like a different name now.
Never heard of that one. They're all the same shit, though. Everyone's telling me I should go to Facebook. I'm like, well, I got MySpace. I don't even go on MySpace anymore.
Somebody emailed me on MySpace and was like, I sent her, it was a girl that I know that I didn't expect to ever see on MySpace, and she showed up. So I was like, I sent her a friend request, and she wrote back, she goes, oh, I never come on here, add me on Facebook. So I wrote back, and I said, I don't go on Facebook. So like 3 weeks later, she emailed me, she's like, well, go on Facebook. It's like, well, you're on MySpace, and you're emailing me, just fucking add me, what's the problem?
Right.
You fucking idiot. You know?
They released today the guy who started Facebook. He's worth $1.3 billion now. How is that even right? How do you even make that much money off of a website?
It's just the age we live in. People are making money off of dumb ideas.
I don't get it, though. You have a website. How do you have $1 billion?
Hey, do you know...
Like, I have a website.
Do you know when he... Oh, go ahead.
I have a website. I have minus $20,000. How does he have a website and he has $1 billion?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess he gets advertisements, but, like, do you really get that much money for advertisements? Like, have you ever clicked on an advertisement on a webpage?
I have an ad blocker, so it blocks them all out.
Or, like, when you go on MySpace, like, you know, on the right side,
no, I don't go on any of that.
Ad. Have you ever?
It's weird too because they're all sort of
does?
personal. Because it'll always say like bands that I like. It'll say like Tool T-shirts. Like, how do they know I like Tool?
Yeah, that does freak me out. That does freak me out all the time. Dandy Warhol's tickets. I was like, whoa, this is getting
like
creepy.
Perfect Circle tickets. Well, Perfect Circle's not a band anymore. So are they playing somewhere I don't know about?
Right. But I mean, even though it's personalized, I still have never clicked on one. Like, do people really do that?
I guess so. There's a guy I read about somewhere. He's a multimillionaire, and he owns like ALO.com and like Yahoo. Like he has like he owns like all like the like EPSN.com. Like all the like main sites, but spelled wrong. He owns all those, and he's like a multimillionaire.
That's just wrong.
That's a good idea, but I mean, it is wrong.
So he makes money from people being stupid. Wow. That's pretty insane. But, like, people go to his site, but, like, everyone goes, oh, I fucked up. And
I like links
right?
to it or something. I think he makes money from the main sites because they, like, link up to it. I think that's how it works.
I'm typing in ALO.com right now. I'm probably giving him some money.
It's like a Chinese guy or something.
Of course it is. I don't get it. Apparently people do click on these ads, but I don't know who. I've never been tempted to click on an ad ever. Even if the link was like things Jay McKenna likes, I still would click on it.
It's got to be a different Jay McKenna.
Apparently, there's a really intense Warcraft battle going on because my internet's like barely working.
What are you downloading? Porn?
I'm not. I'm
Doc?
probably downloading pictures of naked warlocks or something.
Doc.
Wizard porn.
Porn is porn.
One day he's gonna download this episode or any
How
of the
come he
episodes.
doesn't come on? He doesn't have a mic? Or we just don't want him on there?
I mean, he could like sit next to me and talk
No
into
furners.
the same, yeah. White only show. No, we could have him on one week. No guarantees on the excitement level, but you know. Well, he's a doctor. We could ask him
That's true.
doctor
If anybody
questions.
has any medical questions.
You know what? Let's do that. One week we'll have a question and answer with a real
It's not
doctor.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
We had fun with him in spring break
Well,
that year.
yeah. We did. We just got to get him a little liquored up. I'll give him a couple shots of rum before the show starts. He'll open right up.
I'll never forget that night we were out like at the bar, whatever bar we were at in spring break, and we were like talking to a group of girls, and then when we got back to the room, we were like discussing the night. And he's like, "Oh yeah, the girl I was hooking up with." We're like, "You didn't hook up with anybody. You were talking to her. Remember that?"
If by hooking up with you mean saying hi and then staring down at your beer for the rest of the
the
night,
girl I was hooking up with said she was from West Virginia.
you said it like 8 times.
Did you hook up with someone in the bathroom or something that we didn't see? Because all we saw you do was talk to her.
Apparently, we need to explain to you what hooking up
Yeah.
actually is.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny, though. Were you going somewhere before when I went into that whole ad clicking?
Was I going somewhere?
You were about to. Yeah, you were about to start telling some sort of story. No? Maybe I just made it up. Maybe I'm just completely insane.
Shit. Was I? Maybe I was. Let me think. Started to talk about ads. MySpace.
While you think, I'll to
Yeah.
the webpage. It's thebrinkofsanity.libsyn.com. And Podcast Alley. Go into comedy, look for the Brink of Sanity, and click that vote button. It takes about a half a second. And we get a lot more listeners every time we get a vote, so that would be very cool if you
Yes,
help us
please
out.
help us out.
It takes 2 seconds.
What was I going to say? I think I was going somewhere. What were we talking about right before that?
Right before that, we were doing MySpace, and then we were deleting friends.
Actually, I was going to talk about
Beastie Boys.
politics. I was going to rant about politics.
Go on.
Well, it's just an interesting scenario is that we're down to 3 candidates now. We're down to McCain and Clinton and Obama. I was thinking about it.
I heard that somebody found out that McCain was born
Well, here's
out
the
of
thing.
country.
Here's the thing about McCain that I question, and I am a little buzzed. I had a couple glasses of white wine, and this probably isn't the most politically correct statement.
Maybe
No, it's not the wine
talking,
because
but
I
he looks
think
pretty bad.
about this, but the wine will make me actually talk about it. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, McCain this, McCain that. He's got experience." They argue back and forth, and they say McCain has all of this. He knows how to end the war because he has all this military experience. How good can his military experience be if he got caught and was in a POW camp for a while? Doesn't that make you not a
Right.
good soldier if you got caught and you were kidnapped?
Yeah, and it's not like he
I mean,
escaped either.
I know. I mean, listen, I've never been in the Army. I don't know anything about the Army, but it seems to me that if you're over in a war and you get caught and you're in a POW camp, you fucked up somehow.
Not to mention, when he was in the war, weren't they still using like muskets and
Well, that's
horseback?
a stereotypical joke. That's not exactly true. But I mean, my point is that how good can he be if he got caught? I don't know. It's a little it's something I think about every now and then. But I can't. Here's what I can't wait.
I would guess it might.
Because I I don't dislike Barack Obama, but I don't think I really like him, and I guess I'd have to vote for him if it was him versus McCain, or I just wouldn't vote. But I can't wait till if he gets elected president, I can't wait till like like the summer of 2009 when the country is still fucked up and he's not doing anything. All these people that are like, "Oh, he's the best and he's going to change everything." I can't wait to hear what they have to say then. Cuz I think if he gets elected, he's just not good. He won't be worse than Bush. He won't be a bad president, but I don't think he's going to get anything done. He's just going to sort of sit there. No,
What are you
Obama.
talking about, McCain?
McCain, he's a fucking whack. If McCain gets elected, he'll die before his term is over. That's my theory. But if Obama gets elected, he's just going to sort of be like nothing's going to happen. Like all these people think he's going to get in there and something is going to happen. He's just a talker. He's not he hasn't done anything in his life. He's just sort of, at least if Hillary Clinton gets in, you have that sort of all the Clinton people getting in there that they know what's going on and they kind of, slap her around and say, "Listen, bitch, this is what we're going to do. This is how we get shit done." I mean, that's just...
Right. Yeah, I mean, at least, you can't get much better of an advisor
exactly.
than Bill.
That you're sleeping with a person that was president for 8 years, so you're going to get experience, you're going to get perspective. Whereas Obama, he's a nice guy, he could talk, and he's got some charisma, but he hasn't really done anything. Who knows who he would pick for, his cabinet, his advisors, and all that shit. And that's the political part of this program.
I don't think anybody's going to get anything done. All three of these people don't have goals.
The three best people that would have been president would have been Joe Biden, John Edwards, and Ron Paul. But well,
Howard Dean.
He would have beat Bush in 2004, but he said Yahoo because he got excited that he was going to win, and somehow that turned out to be a bad thing. So instead they nominated John Kerry, who looked like a scarecrow. And,
No, he looked like the guy from the Munsters.
John Kerry wasn't bad. It's just that he let Bush push him around, and he didn't fight back. I mean, they tried to make him into like a war criminal when he was actually in the war, whereas Bush wasn't in the war because he was out doing cocaine every day.
Well, it's just that, the general population itself is just so stupid. Bush just goes, well, he's a flip-flopper. Everyone's like, he's a
flip-flop means?
It's
at least make a decision, then you think about it, and then you realize you were wrong. That's what flip-flopping is.
Yeah, you got to at least respect the guy for saying, maybe I made a wrong decision, instead of Bush going, nope, I'm going to attack everyone, I'm still right.
The irony of President Bush and his appeal to people is that, a majority of people that vote for Bush say the reason they voted for Bush and the reason they like Bush is because he seems like a personable guy, somebody they want to have a beer with. Except for the fact that Bush is a recovering alcoholic, so he can't have a beer with you. You see? But people are so stupid that they're like, I'd like to have a beer with that guy. Oh, he can't have a beer with me? Well, I still want to have a beer with him. Maybe you don't want a drinking buddy in charge. Maybe you want somebody who will think things through.
That's what I was about to say. I mean, there's plenty of people I like drinking beers with. Do I want them leading the country? No. People are just, they vote on the stupidest things. Howard Dean, getting excited, and they're just like, oh, he's crazy. We're not going to... Forget how he feels about important issues. He said woo, so his issues are now invalid. It's just insane. And then people, are black people voting for Obama?
People think that black people are going to vote for Obama, but they probably won't vote. Nobody, that's not a thing against black people, is that nobody votes anyway. The reason that everybody thinks Obama will win if he gets nominated is because all the blacks are going to come out and vote for him, but blacks are just like whites and Hispanics and everything else, and nobody fucking votes. There's 10% of the population, if even, that votes. So it's not like all these black people are going to come out and be like, Obama, matter. We're just going to, pull the lever for him. And nobody's going to vote. Nobody cares. If it's Obama and McCain, I probably won't vote. I guess I'd have to vote, but it's just...
Well, I think more care
The theory is that if
I'm
it's a
not
black
voting.
person versus a woman, the black people are going to vote for the black person, the women are going to vote for the woman. See, the problem is that they fucked up and they blew their load this year, because if it was one or the other running, they would get all the... If it was just Hillary Clinton versus John Kerry, Hillary Clinton would get all the support. If it was Obama versus whoever, Obama would get all the support. But because it's a black versus a woman, they're splitting everything right down the middle, and they're hurting each other.
So it's not racist if black people vote for Obama because he's black?
No, it's racist. It's racist if you don't
Like if
vote
I voted
because
for
Obama's black.
McCain because he's white. But if I vote for McCain because he's white,
they're
that's
learning a
racist.
lot of that because, see, the media still doesn't fucking get it. After they fucked up the 2000 election, you think they would just shut up and just let shit happen instead of try to dictate what happens. And that's what happened in all these primaries, is that they do all these, phone calls, and they say, hey, who are you going to vote for today? You going to vote for Clinton or McCain? Or Clinton or Obama? Oh, I'm going to vote for Obama. And then people get in there, and they're like, wait, I don't want some black guy. I want anybody but the black guy, so they vote for Clinton or Edwards or whoever else is running. And then the results come out, and they're like, oh, excuse me. They're like, well, our projections were wrong. I guess there's an inherent bias here in that people lied to us, and they get in the voting booth and they really can't decide to vote for a black person. It's all.
I don't get it. But it's not like the vote matters anyway, though. I mean,
Absolutely.
2000 election proved that. I stopped voting after that. I was like, well, if the vote doesn't matter, then, what's the point of voting? I just don't get it.
Yeah, you
Well,
got
sorry
my
to get all
gears
political
grinded,
like
and
that,
I had to just let it all out. I told you I'm pissy, so I'm actually not as... I was actually annoyed because I was pissy all week until today. When I woke up today, I wasn't as pissy. So I was trying to, instigate things with people to try to get myself back in that frame of mind so that I could just be, miserable and rant and hopefully entertaining. But it didn't really work today. My mood sort of passed.
Yeah, I almost called you yesterday because I was flipping
When
out
you emailed me
and I was
yesterday
like,
about the
let's
dentist,
just have
I
a
was like, let's just
terribly
fucking
angry
do it
show.
tonight because I'm so miserable. I just want to go off. But even if we
next
do,
time
10
we're that
minutes,
pissed off, let's just do an angry episode.
Could you? Yeah,
Yeah.
every now and then, if you piss us off.
Yeah, maybe we'll
enough,
come
right?
out with a bonus episode once in a while.
I just get annoyed with people I know because they're just so
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody I know, Max Headroom. I could tell him my screensaver goes off. No, everybody I know annoys me in their own way, and they don't even know it, and it's not even their fault, but it just annoys me. Then they make it worse because I tell them I'm angry, and they're like, "Oh, anything I could do to help?" Yeah, you know what you could do to help? You could shut the fuck up and not talk to me until I tell you to. Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah, I feel the same way, except that it is their fault.
But people are just, someone will
It's
email
100%
me and I'll just write something back, and they're like, "Oh, I could tell by your email that you're in a bad mood. You want to talk?" No, I don't want to fucking talk. That's why I told you to fuck off in the email. I do want to slit your throat. I just want to slit it and drink your blood while you die. Right. What do you think of that?
And then watch you try and talk.
People who have bothered me.
I just don't think people realize how crazy they are. I mean, is it just me?
I
feel like everyone I know is
hide
completely insane.
Like, I know I am, and I don't try to...
Well, you're insane, but not in a way that pisses me off on a regular basis. Like, I feel like everyone's insane, but some people are insane in like a either a tolerable or a fun way, and then there's the people that are insane and they're just like miserable people to be around. And those seem to be the people that have no idea. Like, I have one friend. We went to a bar. All right. I bring this girl from work who I thought was really attractive. And, I was trying to talk to her and stuff. and he keeps like
We call that a
butting
cock block.
in and trying to talk to her, and like literally like like literally like
Alex, is
walking
it?
in between us and trying to talk. And one of my no,
All right.
Alex is
Just making sure.
Alex is a cool dude. Um, yeah, no. And two of my friends pulled him aside and said, I think Jay, is interested in this girl. Maybe you want to like, hit on somebody else. And he just like shrugs and keeps talking to her. And
Cock block never realizes he's the cock block. He never thinks
then
he's
like
the problem.
he so no no this is the kicker. He walks over to me, and he says, "May the best man win," and he like winks at me. So he knew that I was interested, and he just figured this is I don't know like I don't think friends do that normally like when you go out with a buddy, don't you usually be like,
Well, that's
oh,
what
I
normal
want to
people
talk
do.
to
But
that girl, and
if
then
I was
the
in that
backs off.
situation,
Isn't
you
that what
said
like
to
normal
me,
people do?
you know me, you know how I love to point out people's flaws. I would have a field day talking to that. Like, hey, you see this fucking guy right here? He cries when he watches, fucking Sex in the City and shit. Like, I would just have a field day roasting him all night. I mean, I would love that
Right.
situation. Because I could fight dirty if I have to, so.
Yeah, he complete scum. Complete. Yeah, he. I don't know. I don't have him over anymore. He used to come over and like bring his girlfriend, and like I would just feel guilty, like even hanging out, because I know that this kid is such a
The same person
scumbag
from
and
last
tries to
week.
fuck everything he gets near. And
All right.
no,
Anybody?
no,
Do I
similar.
know this person?
And you know what? They get along, and I'm not surprised because uh,
Oh, all right.
I don't think so. I went to high school with this kid,
Probably not. No.
so you probably I don't think
Yep.
you've met him.
The guy that ended
Complete
up at your
scum,
prom
though.
date.
And
Okay.
no, but he was in the same group, the prom group. He is the guy that. Do you remember a girlfriend that I had in college who was friends with
Yes.
a fat, unattractive, crazy girl?
Courtney. Yes.
Do you remember the fat, unattractive, crazy girl? Fuck. He fucked her. And not only did he fuck her, he fucked her with
I remember you telling
a gay
me
black
that.
man.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story. Yeah. No, I never have met that person, but yeah, I know who. I remember that story. I remember you telling me about that. Yeah, that girl was a whack job. I remember hanging out with her when she lived in Connecticut, and I was like, she had a bunch of hot friends. So I remember I hooked up. I remember I hooked up with one of her friends at one of your parties.
All her friends
Her friend was a
smoking.
whack job too. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, she called me one day and she's like, I hooked up with this guy, and then when I was done, I sat up in bed and started crying. And I was just like, can you imagine being this guy and having this insane bitch just like bawling on your bed after sex? Like, what do you even do with that? And I was like, why would you cry? She's just
It
like,
happened to me once, except she cried
I don't
before
know. I
sex,
just started
and then I
crying. I don't
fucked
even
her,
know why. And I was like,
and she stopped crying. I think she had a boyfriend, or she just broke
and I
up.
just cried harder.
I met her at a bar in Yukon, and ended up like just back in her room, and like we get back to her room, and she was like on her computer, and she started crying, and I was like, "Get over here!" And I made her stop. Then I left.
And she said, like, another day, she's like, I hooked up with this guy, and I left my watch at his place. And this is at like 1 in the afternoon, and she left like that morning. And she's like, yeah, I called him 7 times already trying to get the watch back. And I was like, this poor guy is probably like at work.
Calling him like 8 times.
And you're like filling his. Yeah, seriously. I'm like, why don't you wait till 5 o'clock when everyone on the planet gets off of work and then call him?
That girl was a whack job.
Like, I think your first
Is she
6
like
messages.
in Texas now or something?
I don't know. Fucking crazy. And anyway, my point was, this guy sleeps with her and a gay black man. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a one penis per room rule. And I I think any guys that do that,
because a gay black
I
guy's
think that
not going to
makes them
fuck
bi.
her.
Well, they told me he did, but I don't believe it. I believe there was some ass play going on. I mean, this wasn't like, a guy that I just called gay. This was one of those guys you walk into the room and he's like, "Hey,"
A stereotypical gay
flipping
guy
his,
who doesn't want to be
floppy
called
wrist
stereotypically
and,
gay. I never understood. It's
exactly,
a weird
exactly.
situation.
I mean,
like,
it wasn't
can
even
spot a
close
gay
to.
guy like 100 miles away, and then they get pissed at you for spotting him. It's like, well, act like a normal person. Talk like a regular person.
Stop floating around.
I remember it.
Exactly. I love gay guys that act like normal human beings, but the ones that like Twitter about just piss me off. But what's your opinion on the guy girl?
Well, I mean, I've never been involved with one. I don't see myself being involved with one, but I'd like to think if I was ever involved with one, the two guys would both be straight at least. I'll just shut my eyes.
Even if they're straight,
hope
like
that the lights are
I
out.
don't get that. Well, like, what is the point, really? I don't get it. Call me homophobic if you want. I see nothing that would add to the experience by having
How come it's
another hairy ass in
homophobic?
the
I
room.
never understood that. If you don't like black people, you're racist. If you don't like women, you're sexist. How come if you don't like gay people, how come it's not homoist? Why is it phobic? Why isn't it race-phobic? I never understood that. And just because you don't like gay people,
Right.
why does that make you afraid of them? That's phobic would indicate.
Yeah, I'm not scared of gay people. And it's not even like I don't like gay people. I just don't want to be having sex with another pair of balls like 2 feet away from me.
The more dicks in the room,
I just don't understand that concept at all.
Something could
It boggles my
inadvertently
mind.
slip in somewhere. Well,
Yeah,
we're going to cut
exactly.
this part out, right? We're not
I
going
don't
to
know.
actually broadcast
My
this stuff.
our buddy Matt.
I'm just kidding.
Why? Who cares? Our buddy Matt. I was at his place, and his his roommate and his roommate's friend were in his room, and they came out and they walked up to our buddy and they said, "There's a girl in there. We just tag teamed her. You want to get in on this?" And I was like shocked. I was just like, "Fuck no!" And he actually had to debate about it. He was considering doing that, and I just think that's crazy. I think it's completely insane. But I know people who have done it, and I know more than a couple that have done it.
Everyone's
and I
into
just
their
don't
own
understand
thing, I
it.
suppose.
No, that's just crazy. I can see if you're into some sort of fetish, but that having another penis in the room, no good, no good. Might as well shower with him afterwards, right? I mean, you're already rolling around naked with him. What's the difference?
Well, it is crazy, yes.
It's crazy. I guess you're not.
I don't have any opinion on it. I'm not
against this
against it
design,
or for it. I'm
I can-
sort of just neutral on it. I can't join you down the anti MMF situation. Different strokes for different folks, and
All right.
I can't see
Maybe it's
myself.
just me.
I can't see myself ever being in that
That's too
situation with someone. But well,
That's too many strokes for this.
it'd have to be like pitch black with blindfolds on, and
For me, it would have to be pitch black with blindfolds, and the other dude would either have to be in a different room
Well, the
or
girls
have
are
to
going
be
to
a
call
girl.
in and say, well, how come you could fuck two girls at once, but I can't fuck two guys? Well, you could fuck two guys, but one of them's not going to be me.
Exactly. Because girls don't have ball sacks and hairy asses.
Yep.
And that's just it's the way it is. So,
Yes?
the brink of sanity at gmail.com. Stupid voicemail, what is it? 641-715-3900. And the extension is 95391#.
Leave us a comment, download our show. If you missed the number, you can get it at that website. Vote for us at podcastalley.com. Just go to Podcast Alley, search comedy shows, comedy podcasts, I should say, and we're 18 now. Hopefully, a couple days we'll be in the top 10 once people start listening and voting for us. Call us, email us, vote for us, download us. Come join us next week on Skype, get a microphone, have something interesting to say, and, we could go there.
Oh, yeah, you could Skype in. The Brink of Sanity is the Skype address. So if you want to call in. I know it's kind of weird because we're not a live show.
Wednesdays.
But we always do it between 8:30 and 9:30.
8:30, 9 o'clock Wednesday night, you're nothing to do. Download Skype, log on. If you see the Brink of Sanity, try to connect. He'll say, I'm on a call. But we can conference you in because we have that kind of technology, and hopefully you'll add something insightful to the show. And if you don't, then just make fun of you.
Yeah, don't just call up and say hi. Yeah, don't call up and just say hi. At least have a question or
something
a
better to
comment
say
or,
than what we have to say. Which is anything, really.
Right.
No
or
mad shout-outs.
Don't just call up and say hi. Email us. Yeah, we're not doing shout-outs either. That's just stupid.
I think they do.
I don't. Do people do shout-outs anymore? Horrible.
Use us to talk to your cunt friends.
It's just horrible.
Exactly. That's right.
No.
Because then your cunt friend has to listen to us.
Text message them.
Actually, maybe you can do shout-out. Because if you shout out to your friend, then your stupid friend has to listen to us. And we're whores. We'll take all the downloads and votes we can get.
Right. Exactly.
We'll delete you all from MySpace.
And drop you like a brick. All right, so I guess that's it. We'll be back next Wednesday.
Yep.
With more things and stuff.
Hopefully we'll both have bad weeks, so we'll have more stuff to talk about.
And, yeah. I mean, so far this week isn't going great.
I'm getting my furniture on Friday, hopefully.
In the next couple days.
Me too. I hope they drop it and it all breaks.
Good, I hope it goes horrible.
I hope, the first day I get it and I eat something, I spill food all over it. It stains.
A hobo breaks in and sleeps in it.
Yeah, that's a good way to end it.
I guess that'll do it, right?
Yep.
Why not? End it with some hobo humor. Highbrow.
See you next week.
All right, so thanks for listening.
Bye.